Hey guys, this is Dani'i and welcome to another video, and I'm here with updates on potential tropical storm or hurricane Barry. But before I go into details, please take a second or two to subscribe if you haven't, and you can also tap the notification bell so you know every time when I post a new video. And you can also share to make persons out there know what is taking place, as well as to help the channel grow. So potential Barry is located somewhere right here. So it is expected to move off into the Gulf by tomorrow or very late tonight. And by tomorrow, the National Hurricane Center is saying that it could be a depression. And the reasons are because there is very limited wind shear as well as Saharan air in the Gulf of Mexico. And the sea surface temperatures are very high, and that makes conditions extra favorable for the formation of a tropical cyclone. So here we have the sea surface temperature map, and this area right here where it's about to move off into, we see that the temperatures here range from 29 to 31 degrees Celsius. And this is overall for the Gulf of Mexico. We're seeing that most of it 29, 30, 31 degrees Celsius, and that is why storms tend to rapidly intensify here, such as Harvey and Michael. I mentioned those two hurricanes in my previous video. And it is due to the Gulf being so hot and the conditions so favorable for rapid strengthening. So that could be the scenario with potential Barry, but we are not certain of that as yet. Alright, so here's the map with the potential path of potential Barry, and we see that there is a lot of confusion going on. So right here, at least by the time it comes off into the Gulf of Mexico, there is some unity, but as we go out, there is uncertainty. So we have this path saying it is going straight into Alabama, this one saying it will go, most of them are saying probably Louisiana, and this one over here is saying Texas. We don't know as yet. So if you're in any of these areas stretching across from the Florida Panhandle to Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and very easterly side of Texas, you probably want to start preparing for a potential landfalling tropical cyclone. So we don't know the exact path as yet, but one thing we know, it will move off into the Gulf of Mexico, at least for the next few days as we head throughout this week. Alright, so here is something else, and this is the forecast from the European model, or the Euro. So they're expecting that it could, we're seeing this a major hurricane, or probably Cat 1 or Cat 2 at this stage before it makes landfall. At least that is what Euro is predicting. And if you don't quite understand this map, it is a map showing the pressure, and these black lines are called the isobars, and they are lines of equal pressure. And the more tightly packed they are, the stronger the winds. And the color helps you to identify if it is a low pressure system or a high pressure system, because going down from the greens to the dark blues, low system. So this is an area of low pressure. So they're quite expecting it to make a path like this. So Louisiana could be the aim for this potential hurricane Barry, at least that's what Euro is showing. So as I said earlier, this is just a prediction, and we don't quite know exactly where potential Barry will go and the intensity of the storm. So we just have to wait and see as we head throughout the week. But as it relates to preparing for a potential landfalling hurricane, so here is a checklist, and first we have form an evacuation plan. So you must know your evacuation route and plan ahead on where you and your pets will go. So if there is supposed to be a landfalling hurricane and you all get misplaced and you don't know what to do, you have an evacuation plan to say, okay, this is the point where we are going to meet. So automatically persons in the family or your friends know exactly where to find you. Next, have a supply of non-perishable food and water. So food is a necessity as it comes on to preparing for hurricanes. So you must have the non-perishable food items such as the canned items as well as water. Next, you should have your first aid kit or medical supplies should be readily available. So in case someone gets injured, you know that you have your kits to help them. Next, gather important documents including birth certificates, social security cards, and driver's licenses. You don't want those to be misplaced in the case of tropical cyclone. Next, store yard decorations and play sets inside a building. So if you have these all about your home, you need to have them in one specific place so they do not get lost. Next, fill your car with fuel. No one will want to be in a situation where a hurricane is coming and they are almost on E. So it's best to fill your car with fuel, especially from early, because once more persons start to hear about the potential hurricane that will be making landfall in their specific area, they will all be rushing to the gas tanks. So it's best if you go first and get your car filled. Next, visit an ATM before the storm, since they will not be working during a power outage. So if you need some money, you'll just swipe off what you might need, because ATMs won't be working when the power is out. And usually in tropical cyclones, the power goes out at least for a few days. Next, charge your cell phone. So you should get your electronics charged and the battery filled so that you can use it for necessary purposes as it relates to the hurricane, such as staying in contact with your family members and friends, as well as to get updates on the storm. And this falls under listen to a weather radio or gather batteries. So for your radio, you must ensure that you have your battery so that you can get continuous updates. So even if your phone goes down, the battery is at 1%, you have your radio to give you the updates. And next, a flashlight may be your only source of light if the power is out. So again, most of these are with power outages. You need to have your supplies should in case the power goes out, which it usually does in the case of a tropical cyclone. So guys, we have arrived at the end of this video, so remember to always be weather-wise. And if you found this video pretty informative about potential Barry, please give a thumbs up. And I hope that you all stay safe and start to prepare if you're in any of the areas, and I will keep giving the updates on it.